I'm Bailey, and this is Justin, my husband, and this is our new baby girl, Blair, and this is Blakely Moseley, and she was born August 24th, 2012, and we found out at 2 months of age that she had a chromosome 11 deletion. Chromosome 11 deletion is low muscle tone, developmental delay. She doesn't walk, she doesn't talk. She does verbalize in her own way. She's a very happy child. The first year of her life, she had seizures, and we were hospitalized multiple times with her because she was aspirating. So we do have a feeding tube. She has made leaps and bounds when it comes to development recently, but we're still delayed. Blakely, we found out that Blakely had a chromosome deletion when she was 2 months of age. Prior to that, our pediatrician did notice that she did have some dysmorphic features. She has a crooked thumb. She was born with a dimple on her bottom, sort of similar to spina bifida, but they did an ultrasound and ruled that out. She was having trouble eating. She had a very weak suck reflex. We weren't gaining weight the right way. And so at 2 months, she was hospitalized for an eye infection. And they went ahead and did blood work at that time and determined that she has a chromosome 11 deletion. We found out on a Friday. A nurse called us and did not explain what was wrong, just said that she did have some abnormalities and it was a chromosome 11 abnormality, which was really scary because we couldn't talk to a doctor at that time, and we had a whole weekend to sit here and just Google chromosome 11 deletion, which was something we probably shouldn't have done. On Tuesday, we had an appointment with the geneticist. When we met with the geneticist didn't have a lot of information for us. He said that there may be 5 children in the world that may have something similar, but nothing the same as what deletion she has. He gave us one case study that was, had some similar, similarities to her chromosome deletion, but not the specific deletion. So they just kind of wanted to watch and see and learn from Blakely. So we're learning as parents, and she's fun to learn with.
Probably the first thing that that we did as parents when we found out that Blakely had a chromosome disorder was to do an internet search, see what was available for us as far as resources, information, and of course, pretty quickly we found the Chromosome Disorder Outreach. And very quickly, just looking on the website, you see the resources that are available. You see the abundance of information. It was pretty easy for us to make the decision to join and sort of share Blakely's story with everybody else, and see what else was available for us. I think probably what's been the biggest help for us is the interaction with other families, parents who are going through a similar situation as us, maybe, even though the children aren't exactly the same, the parents have had a similar situation, in one aspect or another with a hospitalization or a different specialist. And I think, I think it's a great sounding board for us to share, emotions and triumphs and, learn from other parents again who are going through the same thing, and especially with the way the Facebook group is, you get instant feedback to your questions from other families, and then the opportunity to ask a doctor a question through CDO is great. You know, probably the greatest thing for us was you know, just being you know, members of that group put us in touch with other families. You know, families that are close to us, or you know, or at least regionally, where you know we had an opportunity to go meet several families and just spend a day together and meet their kids and grandkids and learn about them and just sort of you know, have a shared experience with somebody that you know you probably don't get to have everyday interaction with a lot of families who are you know, parents of a rare child, and I think that's great. You know, I think probably, you know, if I had a suggestion to or an opportunity to tell people about CDO, or maybe a parent who's just found out, or a grandparent, or a family member trying to learn more about a new diagnosis, is a great organization. It's a great opportunity to hear from others, a great place to find resources and information about chromosome disorders. You know, it's a great opportunity for us to learn about new therapies that other people are doing with their children, maybe find out about new treatments and you know, different specialists that other children see, and you know, again, an opportunity to you know, submit a question to a doctor and find out you know, medical information that you know may take days or weeks to find out, you know, trying to get in touch with, you know, a specialist or maybe even your own geneticist. There's many things I'd like people to learn about chromosome disorders. You know, and a lot of this we didn't know until we found out about Blakely's diagnosis. And you know, although individually genetic disorders are rare, in the sense that to a child a specific disorder is rare, but there are so many different disorders and additions and deletions, you know, that together there are a lot of people, and you know, I think that's probably where the strength in funding and research you know, comes from so many people together, and why chromosome disorder outreach you know, is so good, because there are just so many people you know, that you know, again, individually, you know, each specific chromosome disorder, like Blakely's deletion, may be rare, but there are so many others out there. You know, chromosome disorders are not always inherited. In Blakely's case, you know, her disorder, her deletion is not something that you know, was inherited from us. It's what's called a de novo deletion, and that just means basically that you know, it's an unexplained event that you know, that caused it. And there's not, you know, not a whole lot of information about, you know, why that happens, and you know, hopefully that's something that in the future we'll learn more about. You know, even though someone with a different chromosome disorder may be affected differently, there are still some aspects of, you know, of that child's life that are similar to Blakely's, and you know, even in instances where there are children with a chromosome disorder that are similar, those two children may be affected differently, and you know, I think that's where I hope in the future we learn more about chromosome disorders. We appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit about our family and a little bit about Blakely, and hope you learned a little bit, and you know, hope that the information will be helpful for other new families, and you know, hope that that you'll really strongly consider being a member of Chromosome Disorder Outreach and sharing your story with everyone and learning from others. How you think we did? Did we do good? High five?